Every 2 weeks, money leaves your paycheck before you see it. Some goes to taxes, some goes to insurance, and some goes into a retirement account you're told not to touch, your 401k. You've been told it's your safety net, your future, the one thing that will be there when you're too old to work. But right now, a record number of Americans are cracking it open, not to retire, not to invest, not to buy a home. They're draining it just to pay rent, just to cover a hospital bill. The question isn't why they're doing it. The question is, what broke so badly that they had no other choice? Let's start with your paycheck. Between 1979 and 2020, American workers got 61.8% more productive. They made more stuff. They worked faster. They generated more profit. But their wages? Up only 17.5% over 40 years. That's not even 0.5% per year. The money went somewhere. It just didn't go to you. The top 1% saw their pay jump 160% in the same window. The bottom 90%? Their real wages barely moved. 68% of middle-income Americans now say their paycheck can't keep up with their bills. That's not a poll about feelings. That's a Primerica survey from January 2026. 2 out of 3 people earning a middle-class salary say the math doesn't work anymore. Now look at what you're paying. In 1985, the median American home cost $82,800. The median household earned $23,620. That's a ratio of 3.5 to 1. You could buy a house for 3.5 years of your salary. Today, the median home costs $416,900. The median household earns $83,150. That ratio is now 5 to 1, and that's before interest. Rent isn't better. Harvard's Joint Center for Housing Studies says 22.2 million renter households spend more than 30% of their income on rent alone. That's 51.8% of all renters in America. 12.1 million of them spend more than half. Healthcare? 41% of working-age adults, about 72 million people, carry medical debt right now. That's not from surgery. That's from showing up at the ER with a broken arm. College tuition rose 169% between 1980 and 2020, after adjusting for inflation. The degree that was supposed to guarantee a middle-class life now starts you off with a 5-figure loan. Your parents could work a summer job and pay for a semester. You work a full-time job and still owe money 10 years later. Here's where it connects. In 1980, 58% of all income generated in America went to workers, wages, benefits, pensions. As of the third quarter of 2025, that number dropped to 53.8%, the lowest share since 1947. Let that sit. American companies are making more money than at any point in history, but the share going to the people who actually do the work has been falling for 45 years straight. Where did it go? Stock buybacks, executive bonuses, shareholder dividends. Not your paycheck, not your pension, and definitely not your 401k match.
So your wages are flat, your bills are exploding. What's left? Savings. In the 1980s, the average American saved 10 to 15% of their income. Today, the personal savings rate is 3.5%. That's a 46-year low. 43% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency with savings. Not $10,000, $1,000. A flat tire and a dental bill on the same month could break you. 21% have zero emergency savings. The median emergency fund in America is $600. That's 1 month of groceries for a family of 2. And when savings hit zero, you borrow. U.S. household debt hit $18.78 trillion at the end of 2025. Credit card debt alone, $1.28 trillion, an all-time record. 46% of adults are putting essential bills on a credit card just to get through the month. This is the part no one wants to talk about. When your wages don't cover your bills, and your savings are gone, and your credit cards are maxed, you have one thing left: the account you were told never to touch. In 2025, 6% of Americans with a Vanguard 401k made a hardship withdrawal. That's the highest number ever recorded. The 6th year in a row it's gone up, triple the rate before the pandemic. Why did they do it? 36% pulled money out to avoid eviction or foreclosure. They were about to lose their home. 31% pulled money out for medical bills. They were already sick and already broke. 13% pulled money out for tuition. They were trying to give their kids a shot. The median withdrawal? $2,900. That's it. And here's the penalty: income tax plus a 10% early withdrawal fee. Pull out $2,900 and you keep about $1,900. They're not raiding their retirement for vacations. They're burning their future to survive this month. In 1971, 61% of American households were middle class. By 2023, that number fell to 51%, 10 points gone in 50 years. Some moved up, but the rest fell into what economists call the paycheck-to-paycheck economy. 67% of Americans now say they live paycheck to paycheck. Not low-income workers, all Americans, 2 out of 3. A Washington Post poll from February 2026 found that 53% of adults say they can only afford the basics: housing, food, utilities. Dinner out, a new car, a vacation? More than half the country says those are luxuries they can't reach. Now, someone will say, but 401k balances are at record highs. And they're right. The average 401k balance hit $168,000 at the end of 2025. But averages lie. The median retirement savings for a working-age American is $1,000. Not $100,000, $1,000. That's what half of America has saved for the next 30 years of their life. The comfortable retirement target? $1.26 million. The gap between what you need and what you have isn't a gap, it's a canyon. And 6% of the people standing at the edge just jumped because the ground behind them was already gone. This isn't a story about bad spending habits. It's not about avocado toast or too many subscriptions. This is a 45-year structural failure. Wages froze, costs exploded. The share of income going to workers dropped to its lowest point since 1947. Savings vanished, debt hit record highs, and now Americans are tearing apart the last safety net they have, $2,900 at a time, just to keep a roof over their head. Your 401k was never meant to save you. It was a tax loophole for executives in 1978. It became your only option because pensions disappeared. And now it's being drained, not by Wall Street fees, not by bad investments, but by an economy that doesn't leave you enough to survive the month. Next time, we'll show you where all that money actually went, because 45 years of productivity didn't vanish. Someone took it.